4 Americans remain missing in Mexico. We'll also look at a new report on air pollution. I'm Jeff Pierre, and this is The 7 from The Washington Post. It's Tuesday, March 7th. Let's get you caught up with today's 7 stories. First up, an update from Ukraine. The fight over Bakhmut has intensified. The city in eastern Ukraine is the biggest flashpoint between Russia and Ukraine right now. President Volodymyr Zelensky said last night that Ukraine will not retreat from Bakhmut, even though Russian forces have nearly surrounded it. The city itself holds little strategic significance, but capturing it would give Russia a symbolic win after months of setbacks. Number 2, 4 U.S. citizens have been kidnapped in Mexico. This happened on Friday in the city of Matamoros, which is across the border from Brownsville. That's a city in Texas. Mexican President Andrés Manuel López Obrador said that the Americans were caught in a crossfire between groups. In a White House briefing yesterday, Press Secretary Karine Jean-Pierre explained how U.S. law enforcement is trying to bring the 4 Americans back home.
These sorts of attacks are unacceptable. Our thoughts are with the families of these individuals, and we stand ready to provide all appropriate consular assistance. U.S. law enforcement is in touch with Mexican law enforcement. The Departments of State and Homeland Security are also coordinating with Mexican authorities, and we will continue to coordinate with Mexico and push them to bring those responsible to justice.
The FBI has offered $50,000 for their safe return and for information that leads to the arrest of those responsible. Matamoros is in Tamaulipas, which is among the most dangerous states in Mexico. But we should note that the security in the city itself has improved in recent years. Many Americans who live across the border in Brownsville walk or drive to Matamoros for lunch or to see a doctor. Number 3. Walgreens won't sell abortion pills in some states where they're legal. The pharmacy chain's decision to withhold sales of mifepristone in Alaska, Iowa, Kansas, and Montana is in response to legal threats. California protested the decision yesterday by promising to cut ties with Walgreens. The pharmacy's decision further limits access to abortion since the Supreme Court struck down Roe v. Wade. Medication abortions now account for over 50% of legal abortions across the U.S. And something else to watch for. A federal judge could rule any day in a case that could also limit access to mifepristone. Number 4. The Pentagon and FBI helped research facial recognition for street cameras. The agencies worked with academics to develop software that could quickly and accurately analyze footage from public places. This is according to documents released for a lawsuit. There aren't any laws right now that regulate how facial recognition systems can be used. And these files give us new details about a powerful tool that could track Americans without their awareness or consent. Nearly everyone is exposed to unhealthy levels of tiny air pollutants. That's our 5th story today. These pollutants are known as PM 2.5, and a new study found that 99% of the global population breathes in potentially dangerous amounts of these particles. The tiny particles can cause serious health problems, including heart disease or lung cancer. The findings underline the importance of addressing major sources of air pollution, such as emissions from power plants, industrial facilities, and vehicles. Here's number 6. It's still snowing in California's Sierra Nevada. Several more feet fell this weekend, on top of the 12 feet it got over the past 2 weeks, and more is probably on the way. Temperatures are expected to rise, and some of the upcoming precipitation may fall as rain. This would melt the snowpack and could lead to serious flood risks. And at number 7, everyone's favorite airplane chocolate, Toblerone, is losing its iconic logo. The chocolate bar is irresistible. I mean, we've all felt like Joey from Friends at least once in our life.
Ross, if you're going to the airport, can you pick me up another one of those Toblerone bars?
The brand is dropping the Matterhorn mountain from its logo, so the distinctive box will feature a generic mountain design instead. It turns out that Toblerone is just not Swiss enough. Under the Swissness legislation, which went into effect in Switzerland in 2017, businesses have to show their products are sufficiently Swiss to claim that label and to use national symbols of Switzerland. Toblerone is moving some production out of the country this year, so it no longer meets those requirements. By the way, did you know that there's a bear on the Matterhorn in the original packaging? The jury is still out on what's going to happen to that dude. And just like that, you are all caught up. Did you know that you can listen to the 7, Post Reports, and other podcasts from the Washington Post ad-free on Amazon Music with your Prime membership? Wherever you listen, make sure you subscribe to our shows so you never miss an episode. I'm Jeff Pierre, and I will meet you back here tomorrow.